Hey guys, Wes Miller here from Bomb Squad Racing. Wanted to give you my race report from the Legacy Dirt Rebelution event that took place just outside Cedar City. I'd never run this race before. It's a loop race, and I had heard it was pretty technical. We went out Friday evening before the race.
Doing a lot of turning. Yeah.
The course, it's a 61-mile loop, and you run about, I'd say half of it is through a lot of cedars and trees, and it's pretty technical. So the Pro R4 that I run, it's a fairly large UTV compared to a lot of the other guys that were there. There were even some guys in more work style cars and like some RS1s, which I think in that tight stuff was kind of an advantage. Now, the rest, I'd say maybe a third of it was pretty high speed and open. And that's where I was kind of able to let the Pro R4 breathe and stretch its legs, where we had, I think, maybe a little bit more of an advantage. The King shocks were working amazing. We made a couple adjustments, and those things just keep getting better and better. I'm really impressed with how well the King shocks work. We just did a full refresh on my Pro R4. We did that at Ironborn Off-Road here in Las Vegas. I'll do another video kind of going over everything that we did, but it was over 6,000 miles on the car, and it was due for some love, and so we went through that whole thing. This was the first race we did. We went out and pre-ran, got some notes.
The L1.
I have a new co-driver, Gavin Rodriguez. This was his second race with me, so we're kind of still getting used to working together, but he's been doing a great job. When we started the race, we were behind the Pro Turbos and the Pro Unlimiteds, but they did move us up from where we started last time, which I really appreciate. So most of the guys that we were running with were at a fairly decent pace. First lap, we caught a few guys.
I'm gonna punch you, dude. Go, 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 go.
We were able to make some passes. It was really dusty, and there were a lot of the course is pretty tight. So in a lot of the sections, you had to really watch what you're doing, not push too hard. Otherwise, you end up hurting your car. And yeah, my mindset kind of going into this was get through the first lap clean, and then the second and third lap, start racing and try to pick it up from there. So we got to the second lap. Everything was kind of going along to plan. I think we were top 10 overall physical at that point. And not too far into the second lap, there was a rock probably about that big that was embedded in the outside of a left-hand turn, like kind of in the berm. It was a pretty high-speed section, so I didn't see it till the last second. Missed it with the front tire, and I thought I was going to miss it with the rear, and we clipped it and ended up tearing a hole in the sidewall.
I hope we didn't get it with the rear, or didn't flatten the rear.
We stopped to swap that tire out. When we did that, we had a couple issues, and this was Gavin's first time doing a spare, but in his defense, there were some other things kind of going on that slowed us up. So I got out, both of us did it, we got it fixed, but all in all, it took us about 10 minutes to get that tire changed, which in a short race like this, that really cost us. So we got going again. Just, I think about 4 cars went by. Just kind of put my head down, decided, let's get through the rest of the race, try to get through it clean and no more mistakes. So I was able to do that.
Right. You're gonna come into an L3, but we got time. L3.
On the beginning of the third lap, we stopped the main pit, put a fresh spare on the car and just in the rack, and then got going again. On the third lap, I was having some issues with our fuel gauge. It was kind of acting up. I wasn't sure where we're at on fuel. So about the last third or so of the final lap, I backed it off a little bit just to make sure that we were going to make it on fuel. As it turned out, I went and filled it up afterwards, and we had, I think, a little less than a gallon left. So we weren't going too much further. So I'm happy that we finished. All in all, we ended up first stock 2, I think basically first stock vehicle, and 8th overall. It's a little disappointing because I think we had a good pace. Our lap times were pretty high up there, especially considering that I didn't have a clean lap calculated into any of those. And with the 10 minutes of downtime that we had, I think we would have been 4th overall, possibly 3rd if you kind of factor in backing it off on the last lap. But you can always debate of what you could have done. So I'm happy with how we did. That was a big car on that course. I think we were probably 1,000 to 1,500 pounds heavier than most of the other vehicles out there. So that said, I'm pretty happy we got through it, and we are now getting ready for the California 300, and then we'll be doing the final Legacy race of the year as well. Make sure watch for the other videos, as well as if you haven't seen side-by-side sing-along, check that out. It's on my YouTube, Wes Miller 70. If you go on there, please make sure like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and we will keep you guys posted on the rest of the year.